Carolina, they might not be flashy. Hell, they might not be the fastest or the prettiest team on the ice, but here's what I'll tell you. They just might be the hardest team to beat in the playoffs. You don't want to play against them, as Ottawa just might find out. Storyline on this one kind of breaks down real simple. Carolina can control everything. Pace, possessions, and shots. Ottawa, they need to create chaos. I am Mark Wallace with the Weekday Wagers, and somebody who does not create chaos is joining me, and that's Mr. Robbie Hockey. Rob, as we look at this thing here, and you look at what Ottawa needs to do in this series against Carolina, what do you like? How do you approach this? I mean, I know you have a love-hate with Carolina as a team to begin with during the regular season. How do you approach this series?
Yeah, to me, this should be all Carolina. The problem is goaltending. Every time they get to this point in the season, they get to the postseason, the goaltending completely disappears and they end up losing. Bussy started the year hot. You thought, man, this guy is going to be on a roll. They're going to have Bussy for the playoffs. They're set. And he's fallen off the wagon. He hasn't been as good. Freddie Anderson, I want a lot more goalies. Give me maybe even Tristan Jarry or Stuart Skinner over Freddie Anderson. That guy, when it comes to clutch games in the playoffs, he has not fared well when it comes to the playoffs. I don't trust him. And I'm going to be interested to see who actually they start in the crease. Is it going to be Bussy or is it going to be Anderson? But this is an Ottawa Senators team who have, for the most part, other than the PK, they're pretty good defensively, but they're so hurt defensively now. And that's the biggest weakness, I think, for Ottawa is the injuries and the fact that their penalty kill is one of the worst in the league.
So you bring up a very interesting point about Carolina's goaltending. And yes, it is an issue. But a very interesting stat here is that at home, Carolina has a plus 11 shots on goal differential versus their opposing teams, which means that they're applying so much more offensive pressure that the other team, they're forcing the other teams to play more defense than offense. Is that a way to kind of protect your goalie here?
Oh, 100%. And not only that, they have two really solid lines. You've got Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov on the top line. Then you look at the second line, you got Jackson Blake, Logan Stankoven, and Taylor Hall. And that's the line for player props where you're going to find the most value, especially Logan Stankoven. The dude has been a heater, and he's one of the best on that team. And I'll go ahead and give you a little inside information. I'm going with Nikolaj Ehlers, who plays on the third line, but he is on the top power play for Carolina. I've already put his point prop in, and I grabbed that at minus 115 today. This guy against Ottawa has a point in 14 of his last 15 games. He scored twice to end the year. Nikolaj Ehlers is my favorite point prop in this game tomorrow.
So that's a great look. And so, get that in now before that thing starts moving. But I do want to get back to this goalie situation here, because when we start looking at that, maybe there's a way to start targeting some unders here, because Carolina at home only allows 22 shots on goal. And so I don't care who's in goal, whether it's Freddie Anderson or Brandon Bussy, maybe a good way to approach this is taking a goalie under, because you figure, I mean, both of them, they haven't been phenomenal in goal, but they don't have horrible save rates either. I mean, we're still talking about high 80%, 88, 89%. Is that a way that you would approach this?
100%. And I love that, because like you said, they're going to spend most of their time in the offensive zone. That's their game, especially at home. I think taking their under on saves is the way to go. And then when you look at Ottawa, you look at some of their top guys. You got Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle, Drake Batherson. I mean, they have some guys, but I think Carolina has more guys that can come up. And then Shane Gostisbehere on defense for Carolina is one of the best in the league as far as a two-way player. And that's another guy that I think is going to help shut down that Ottawa offense as well.
Yeah, and what I really liked about attacking the goalie here, I should say not attacking the goalie, but playing a goalie under here, is the fact that Ottawa only averaged, I mean, they're averaging less than 28 shots on goal a game to begin with.
Yeah.
going up against a team like Carolina who restricts shots on goal to their goalie. It also gives you an indication of how dire and desperate that goalie situation is in Carolina, right? I mean, if you're only allowing 22 shots on goal and you're still not winning outright, that's a problem, right?
It really is. But that's the way you target this game. When you look at it, this is the ugly game. As far as player props go, this is the ugly series where you're like, I don't know. If there's a couple other games on, I probably will lean more targeting that one. I say that even though Ehlers is the first point prop I have in the series. But, I mean, like 14 out of 15 games. Come on. You got to take a guy for a point, especially at minus 115.
Now, you bring up Tim. I'll let you say his last name.
Stützle.
Guy sitting on 83 points this regular season. Has been an integral part of that Ottawa offense. How does that and Brady and the Tkachuk, right? How does he and Tkachuk work in tandem to try to beat this Carolina Hurricane team?
It's trying to get some breakaways. Tim Stützle was awesome, especially when you go back to the Olympics. I think I had him to be had the most points for Team Germany and ended up cashing that ticket. He's your guy. I think when you're targeting players on Ottawa, if you can find a prop, most points per team, if that's out there, I think Tim Stützle is the one you want to go with. Brady Tkachuk is really good. I mean, he's been in the league for a long time. He's been on Team USA. He's awesome. But I think as far as point production goes, Tim Stützle is who I would actually try to target more on the Ottawa side.
So, listen, gun to head, you got to make a decision here. Who wins this series?
Carolina in 5.
That is so interesting because, see, and again, I go to, damn it, it's what I know about the model. The model has this thing going to 7 games, and I'm like, could be one of those. You just said it earlier. This has the potential to be one of those ugly games where if Ottawa can slow down and just give a little bit of a pause to Carolina's offensive pressure, I think they can extend it. I tend to agree with you. I think Carolina wins this. I am going against the model here. I think my play here is Carolina to win this at minus 1.5. They win the series by at least 2 games. I like that angle here in this because I think Carolina suffocates this series, right? Yeah. I mean, I think they're just too good. They're too deep, and they have too many weapons for this Ottawa team. That's my opinion.
Yeah, look, too, we talked about one goaltender. We didn't talk about the other one, Ullmark, who's had an interesting year, to say the least. Now, mental health is nothing to joke about. I completely agree with him taking time off, get yourself right. What I didn't agree with was him saying I didn't get enough rest, and he was basically, scoffing off the game where he's like, I don't feel that good. I didn't get enough rest. What kind of Linus Ullmark are we going to get in this playoffs? Because I think that, to the model's point, if Ottawa takes this to 7, you're going to need more out of Linus Ullmark than you've seen towards the later half of this season. So that's why I'm going Carolina in 5 because of the Ullmark effect.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't trust Ullmark. I just don't. You might get 1-2 good games out of him this series. You are not stringing together 4. And I think that's going to be the issue for Ottawa. But listen, make sure that you're locked in with us, myself, Robbie, and DG over on Weekday Wagers, where we are live Monday through Friday, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we're breaking down the board every single day. And if you want all of these model projections and the plays that we're talking about and so much more, join us over at juststatsports.com. Use code WAGERS50, WAGERS 50. You're going to get 50% off your first month. Trust me, you will make that up. It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. We'll see you over in the next one.